Hello guys and welcome to another episode of Big Misconception. In this video I'm gonna be going over the misguided belief that Zamasu fused with the whole future timeline and transcended through timelines with his power. So after Trunks beats Zamasu, Zamasu's soul starts spreading and covering Earth. Gowasu sees this and he states that Zamasu may be trying to become one with the universe. We later see Zamasu through a portal in the present timeline appearing in front of multiple characters in Capsule Corporation. That's basically all we've got on the feed. So first of all, Gowasu himself contradicts the claim that Zamasu fused through the whole timeline and transcended timelines, as according to him, Zamasu didn't really intend to go over a universe. He said he'll become one with the universe and that's it. Nothing about the timeline is ever implied. But how would Gowasu know that Zamasu was only going to become one with the universe? It's invalid. Using this very logic, how would Gowasu know that Zamasu was trying to become one with the universe to begin with, considering all Zamasu did was appear in front of them? You can't try to discredit the part of the statement you disagree with and leave out the part that fits your argument, especially when nothing supports that Zamasu was gonna go beyond the universe. But we saw Zamasu in the present timeline. This must mean that he was so strong he merged with the whole future timeline and transcended to different timelines. Firstly, where is the proof that this is the reason he managed to get there? What part of anything states that? This is nothing but a headcanon that literally cannot be proven, which people like using. Secondly, this headcanon gets contradicted by the very fact it's implied within the show that what Zamasu did was like when Black came. And if you remember, Black uses an ability to travel through time with a portal. He does that with a time ring. So we have a direct implication that this is nothing but a hex to open a portal in a different timeline, or there is absolutely zero evidence whatsoever he did this through his power, that he fused with the whole timeline, and that this is the reason that he transcended timelines. This is just a bunch of complete assumptions. And the fact that the assumption Zamasu did all that through his power by transcending the timeline and all this stuff requires way too many assumptions, because you have to assume that Zamasu managed to do this in a few seconds, you have to assume that Zamasu transcended the timeline, and you have to assume that Zamasu somehow managed to spread through a different timeline. Not to mention, Occam's razor will also dismiss that, because it requires way more assumptions than to simply say that he created a portal, which is implied. But Zamasu doesn't have a time ring. It's not necessary for him to have a time ring. All that's needed is for Astro Zamasu to have an ability similar to that of the time ring. But Beerus and Twist could sense him. This doesn't prove anything. Nothing indicates that people will be unable to sense Zamasu if he opened a portal to the past through portal hacks, rather than getting there by transcending timelines. But Beerus said that something happened in the future and that it's having an effect on the past, so this must mean that he did so by merging with the timelines. An effect means a change that is a result or consequence of an action or other cause. Creating a portal in the present timeline is a change that is a result of Zamasu using his implied ability. But the statement was just Krill's assumption and question. He wasn't even there to know what was happening. It doesn't matter that Krill's statement was an assumption and a question. The fact is that he assumed this may be the case based on what he was seeing, hence he asked such a question. And this would still be way more proof than what the opposite side of the argument has got. It's still some sort of implication, even if it's not confirming it's a portal hacks fully. But why was the Zamasu that's shown in a present timeline affected by Zeno then? Why wouldn't he be affected? Zeno destroyed Zamasu's main body, which affected all other astral bodies as we saw. Not to mention, as Beerus said, when a god kills another god, it affects the said god in other timelines. Beerus said that when he kite present Zamasu, and that was meant to kill Black despite the fact that he was in another timeline, because Black is practically a present Zamasu. There are also people who claim that the feat is apparently universal plus, as Zamasu became one with the universe. However, it's never stated or implied that he managed to do this. He was raised by Zeno nearly right after he managed to cover Earth alone, much less becoming one with the whole universe, especially given the fact that it took him over a minute of screen time to cover Earth alone. So it was something that was only going to be achieved eventually over time, not something that was going to happen quick. The leaks for episode 67 also debunk this argument further, as they state, quote, "Will they be able to protect the future? The final battle with Zamasu begins. Powered by the hopes of humanity, Trunks strikes back at Zamasu, but while Zamasu was supposed to be defeated, he instead loses his physical body and begins to spread out and covers the sky." Another translation. Can they protect the future? Trunks attacks Zamasu with a force full of the hope of humanity. Zamasu, who was supposed to be defeated, reappears in a strange new form and covers the sky more and more. So what does this tell us? It tells us that what Zamasu was doing was merely cover space not fusing with it in a literal sense. Hence, what was described as mere covering was what Guasu was talking about when he made his statement. But Guasu said he's trying to become one with the universe. To become one with something has more than one meaning, and you're only picking the definition that fits your argument. It's a commonly used phrase with many meanings, such as I became one with nature or become one with nature. So with that being said, we can say that the feed from what we saw is just Zamasu spreading and covering Earth and the space around it, as he was killed before he managed to show anything more.